Hi felters and crafters. In this video today I'm going to talk about the truth of running your own business, the positives and the negatives. If you've clicked on this video, it's something you're considering. So let's get started. My name is Philippa and I run a needle felting business, which is a type of craft that you work with wool and a needle and you create sculptures, which I've got behind me. And I've been doing this for about 4 years. I do a video on the amount of money that I earned last year. I shall link that at the end. So let's just go through the obviously positive things about starting your own business. It's relatively easy to start. In this day and age, it definitely is. You've got a ton of social media platforms to get your name out there. So from that point of view, it is quite easy, and there is so much help and advice on YouTube. If you need anything, I literally haven't found anything that I can't find on YouTube yet. So if you don't know how to set up an Etsy shop, if you don't know how to set up an Instagram account, you can go to YouTube, and the skill set out there is just amazing. So from that point of view, it's relatively easy, and it's not majorly expensive too. If you were to list something on Etsy, it's going to cost you money, but you can go onto Instagram and Facebook. But even Etsy is 20 cents per item. It's only when you start to sell items that you will pay a little bit more. So it's easy to start and not too expensive. We know those things. It's very flexible. It's flexible beyond belief. You work when you want to and where you want to, depending on your items that you're selling or your skill set or your craft. I'm partial to a cup of tea in the sun, so as soon as the sun is shining I might pop out and sit outside. So yes, the flexibility is amazing. I've got dogs, I was home educating my daughter, so it all worked around that beautifully. The harder you work, the more you can earn. It doesn't feel that way in the beginning in particular, but the further down the line you get, the more you hone your skills as to where you can make your money, what people want to purchase from you, so you will get better. So you will be able to start to earn more money for maybe not working as hard. But if you continue to work hard and you know what people want, definitely there should be no limit, although we always have a limit in our heads about what we can earn and what we can do. There is no limit to what you could earn depending on the amount of work you put in. And the other thing with that is you can start a business around a full-time job. If you can find the hours in the day, you can fit starting your own business in and around that, and it is definitely possible. Take away an hour of watching TV in the evening and put that into your business, and that's 7 hours a week. Fantastic. So you could definitely fit this around a full-time job. Let's think about some of the obvious negative things. If you're not working, you're not earning. Not always true, because you can diversify and tap into some passive income so that even when you sleep you can be earning money, and there's lots of different ways to do that. Just type passive income into YouTube and you will get so much come up. And the phrase passive is not always the best phrase. You do have to put the initial work in, but once you've done it, then you can repeatedly earn money from an item. You think you work when you want to work, which was the positive, but however, I generally find I'm just 24/7 on call. It's not always the case. If you are quite strong and don't look at your messages for the whole weekend, then well done to you. But however, I sell PDFs, which again is a passive income, and if I have somebody at night time that they've bought it and they can't download the PDF, then I feel compelled to try and send it to them if my laptop is on. Up to about 8 or 9 p.m. I will definitely try and sort out their issues. But just to give you an example, I had one lady in America buy a PDF, and by the time I was asleep when she purchased it, she couldn't download it, and by the time I woke up I had 3 messages from her asking for help. So there's things that you can't avoid. So but you are on call 24/7, and it is good customer service, and I don't really mind too much that I do answer things at the weekend. It's down to you. You can set your limitations. Every penny counts when you're trying to expand. In the beginning, it's not very expensive to run your business, just to make things and sell things. But as soon as you want to get a bit more complex, you might want to buy a printer, you might want to buy a heat press. There are a lot of hidden costs as well, such as boxes, packaging, stuff like that. Just even thank you cards and little care leaflets, stuff like that is very much a hidden cost. And so when you want to sort of expand and become a bit more professional, then you're going to start wanting to plow any of your earnings straight back into the business. And in that first year or so, I found it quite difficult to manage the money because I was trying to put money towards the family income and expand the business. It's very time expensive, especially in the beginning, and you feel that that's all you're doing the whole time. If you've got that dedication and that passion for it, you literally will be doing it every spare second you have. So it's extremely time expensive, and if you've got the time to spare, that's great. I do find that we go into these things quite blind with our knowledge, and Johnny Harris explains it really well, where you go into something and you're up here and you start, and then you realize how much you don't know. Like, I didn't know how to edit a YouTube video, I didn't know how to do an online course, I didn't know how to do an Etsy listing, and you drop and then you spend ages trying to get back out, and then you get back up to here. So yeah, very time expensive in the beginning. And so along with that, with the time, if you don't have much time, you really have to focus on things that are going to be what we call needle movers, that are going to move your business forwards. I am a bit of shiny new object syndrome, and will go off and go, oh, that's really nice to do, that's really nice to do. Bring yourself back down and focus on the needle movers if you don't have much time. Is it that you just want to make a certain item that sells really well? Is it that you want to do something with passive income that will help you earn more money in the future? So yeah, definitely very time expensive. It's quite isolating if that's all you're doing. If you don't have a full-time job or a part-time job and you're just doing your craft, you're on your own. So craft fairs are a really good way to get you out there. Running workshops, a great way of meeting other people. Going onto Facebook and joining up with other community crafters that do the same craft as you is a really good way to just keep you in contact with other people. You have to make sure that you're okay working on your own quite a lot of the time. You have to do your own tax. It's quite taxing. So definitely something you have to consider. In the beginning, it's normally not too bad because you're not earning too much, but as you get further down the line, definitely be putting money aside and be preparing, and just look up on YouTube, and I'm sure there'll be lots of tutorials to help you with the tax within your country. You have to own your own mistakes. And you will make mistakes, and you don't mean to, but they do happen. I have a little list. I've sent the wrong kit to somebody, I've sent missing instructions, I've sent missing ribbons. So you do make mistakes, but those mistakes have made me ensure that I have a better system in place. So I really do have a dedicated system of knowing who gets what and when, whether I've sent the dispatch notice, when it's been collected by the postman. So yes, you do make mistakes, but own them, apologize, make up for them. Customer service is key. Wrong kit, I just sent them the correct kit and they kept the other one. So you can make up for it, and yes, you will take a slight hit, but it's great if they give you a good review. So dealing with difficult issues that you don't think you're going to have to deal with. So you think you're going to give the best customer service, and you will try and you will do a really good job, but things happen without you doing anything wrong. So just to give you a few examples, just think about how you would respond to them. A customer placed an order for a kit and 24 hours later contacted me to cancel that order. I had already posted it to America, so the postage was quite a lot. So then do they receive it and post it back to me? Well, they're not going to pay that postage, and I'm going to have to pay that postage to get the kit back, to get my money back from the kit by having it physically. So it's very awkward. And then the reason given by the person was that the postage was too much, but you would have known that at the time of paying for it. Anyway, my thoughts on people that cancel orders after they've placed them, and I completely understand, and I have had probably at least 5 or 6, is you don't know what's going on in their lives. Maybe they ordered it in the middle of the night, maybe they've woken up the next day and their partner's not happy that they spent money. So I do try to accommodate where possible. And with that one, that lady got really upset And so I just let her keep the kit in the end and just left it at that. So I did lose out, but it's the way in which I felt happier about the situation. Yeah. So I sell PDFs, and I got a review on a PDF. No, nothing else mentioned, no message from this person. And literally it was a 1-star review, which is the worst you can get, saying, "This is not a crochet pattern." And I'm like, it's definitely not a crochet pattern. I mentioned needle felting about 10 times in the title, the description, the SEO, everywhere. It's definitely not a crochet pattern. And I was a little bit cross that the person hadn't even contacted me and said, "I accidentally bought this as a crochet pattern. Could you refund me?" And you're not supposed to refund PDFs, but there's a way in which you can do it. And in that case, I definitely would. But no, she just gave me a 1-star review. So what can you do? There's not much you can do about that. I did actually message her and say, "It's your mistake, and you've given me the 1-star review for something I've done nothing wrong." So I then went back to that pattern, tried to review the process. I did refund her because I just felt awful. And in her defense, she had searched crochet pattern and that had come up. She just hadn't read it at all, not even the title. And so I've gone back and put needle felting pattern in capitals in the title. So I tried to review the process and I did refund her. And then another difficult one was someone had tried to purchase a course on my online site, and it hadn't gone through, but yet the money had gone out of PayPal. And so they're now out of pocket. And that was like, so they contact me saying they've tried to purchase a course, they haven't got the course, and that it doesn't show on my site that they've paid for the course, but yet PayPal, the money's gone from PayPal. And so I felt really awful that this person could potentially be out of pocket. However, with that instance, I said, can we just wait a couple of hours, see if PayPal updates itself? And it did, and the money hadn't been taken out. I don't know why. PayPal had a little blip. But you can see I was at a point where, do I refund her for something that I cannot see a course has been purchased? So I would just be giving her the money for the course. So yeah, there's some tricky incidences that you're going to have to deal with and carefully work your way through with customer service. So let's just talk about the general things about running your own business and why it's good and why it's not good. So 10 years ago, it wasn't so possible. Social media has just expanded, and it's lovely in all of business these days. It's not who you know anymore, because it used to be connections and all of that. But nowadays you can just get your name out there, get your stuff on social media, and if it's good, people will pick it up and they will like it. You do have to be prepared to pivot with your business. Don't be upset or worried if something doesn't work out. So lots of things I've done haven't worked out. I did Patreon for nearly 2 years, and it was wonderful from one respect and very difficult from another respect. But I realized it wasn't for me, and I did close it in the end. My clothing designs haven't worked very well. Cards haven't worked very well. So you have to be prepared to say, no, that's not working. I'll try something else. And you have to always keep learning, keep facing new challenges. For me, that is normally technology, setting up an online course, working out how to do a PDF, working out how to print items on bags. You know, there's a lot of things you have to learn, and keep learning and keep pushing yourself. You should always try to move forwards. I think you have to have a degree of organisation and self-motivation, not all the time, but some of the time. I do always get up and make my bed. I'm pretty good. And then everything goes in an order. It used to be Etsy orders or website orders, then it would be Patreon, and then it would be YouTube and everything else. So I am pretty good at doing my orders at the beginning of the day, and I normally have items on the shelves ready so that I don't have to make things up. That sounds like I make things up. I don't make things up. So I have things ready to post. So I am very organized with most of my life, but there are weeks when I am tired, I don't want to do anything. So you can have those breaks. So that's quite good. Receiving good reviews is absolutely heartwarming and amazing. And hearing the ka-ching on Etsy when you first sort of start to get into having sales, even now, it's just like, what? Someone's purchased something. It honestly, you can't get over that feeling. And when someone takes the time to do a lovely review or a lovely comment on YouTube, literally, we can all do a thumbs up and press the 5 stars, that's fine. But when people write something, I feel, number one, compelled to respond to them, but number two, just so thankful that they would do that. Flexibility is a really big positive for me because I've got, like I said, 2 dogs. My daughter's at college now, so that's a lot better, and I've got a bit more time. But if you've got children, if you're looking after someone, the flexibility thing is just fantastic. And community as well, because I have a community on YouTube. I had a really good community on Patreon, but like I said, that did not work for me in the long run. So community that you build is really good as well. And if you're just selling on Instagram, that means building up the customers that you have, which is lovely. I do accept my limits, so you have to, or maybe I impose some limits on myself. I don't do Facebook, I don't do TikTok, and I don't panic over Instagram. I just do that as and when. For me, I know that YouTube is a big one for my business, hence you're here and I'm doing a video. You don't have to do everything, like I've just said, and you don't have to be perfect. You will make mistakes. A successful business is actually normally a series of failures that you have learnt from and that you've moved on from. Fear of failure is a big thing, so you're going to have to get over that if you're going to want to run your own business. Don't worry, things go wrong. You will learn and you will develop something else. If you have social media where this happens, mean comments are quite hard. And like, I don't mean constructive comments, that's absolutely fine. I've made mistakes with videos and people have been constructively nice about it. And you just say, oh yes, you think about it. Sometimes you get a little bit cross in the first instance and then you reflect and you think, do you know what, they're right. And then you go back and you correct whatever you did wrong. So mean comments, those are the ones that are definitely mean, very difficult, very tricky. So I would just delete them. Just don't respond, don't go there. Don't, as a YouTuber I watched said, don't keep the bad energy going. Just stop it, get rid of it. That's absolutely fine. But yes, constructive comments do listen to. Learn to diversify, that's really helped me and know what keeps my creativity going. And that was partly to do with sort of Patreon. I was doing it every day and it was really draining on me. And there was a lot of people I had to sort of keep in contact with, and it just didn't work. So I knew to help myself keep my creativity going, and also for me at the moment doing other crafts has really helped keep me fresh and keep me not getting fed up of my main craft. So that's worked really well. Learn what works best for you. So I know YouTube's great, I know my kits are doing well, my courses are doing well. My friend Vicky, who she makes sculptures, she does lots of other things, but she knows that her guinea pigs have done so well and she's done a book about them and just sold the book. Another lady who I follow, the Countryside Felter, she does gorgeous sheep and she knows she's good at her sheep and she knows that's what people want to purchase from her, and so she's sort of honed in on that. There's a lady called Ull Felts who does teeny weeny felts, and she knows that's, you know, that's her niche and that's what people want. So learn what's working best for you that you enjoy doing, obviously. Learn to say no is another big one. I say no a lot these days. I don't do commissions anymore because they did drain on me. I just really struggled. When you had 6 months worth of commissions, the pressure was a lot. So personally, I knew commissions weren't the best way for me to keep going. And I do still get a lot of people contact me asking me to do things and I have to politely say no. However, in the beginning, commissions are a great way to get started. There are lots of people that want items made, especially pets. So learn to say no. and then I just sort of have covered most of it. I feel I've been fairly honest about all of it. And like I said, I have a video on how much I earn. Whether you think that's a part-time wage or a full-time wage, you know, do go and have a look at that video. But would I start my own business again right now? 1,000,000% yes. If you're thinking about it, I wouldn't hesitate to do what you want to do. If it's your passion and you enjoy it, I love coming into this office and doing work. And sometimes I would just sit here not working and just reading or doing a bit of crafting of something else. And this is my space and I absolutely love it. So set up your own little corner. If you can have your little business on a table, just have it in the corner of the room somewhere, and that is your business and your passion. And if you want to do it, go for it. Any other questions, put them in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching and for being here with me, and take care and see you all again soon.